The Vikings cannot beat the Giants. They could play 25 times. The Giants could win every time. Look, the Giants are dangerous. The Giants are dangerous, and it makes me rethink my conviction on the Eagles, because now they play the Eagles. Now, I'm not saying the Eagles are going to lay down or anything, or they can't compete. Of course, they should be favored. They probably should win comfortably against New York this weekend. But our former colleague John Daigle, now with 4 for 4, he had this stat that sort of summarized why I think the Giants are so dangerous at this point. Daniel Jones averaged 4 design rush attempts per game during the regular season. He only had 2 design rushing attempts when he played Philadelphia last time. During in that Vikings game, Daniel Jones had 11 design run attempts for 7 first downs. This willingness to make Daniel Jones, who is an efficient, good rushing quarterback, to use him as a rushing weapon adds something to this Giants offense and compensates for Daniel Jones's unwillingness to be aggressive downfield in a way that I think that makes the Giants offense way more dangerous than I would have thought coming into this playoffs.
He's also someone at the end of his rookie contract. So Brian Dable may be getting into if he dies, he dies mode with Daniel Jones. To quote another movie, the Zoomers have never seen Rocky 8 or whatever. I've never seen it.
4. What?
Yeah. The only Rocky I've seen is the original Rocky.
Oh my God. I think I knew this, and it's so upsetting. I'm really upset right now.
You've seen all the gifts. That's the same thing, basically. I feel like I've seen them.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, but
I think it's not a work of art. Let me say, Rocky 4 is very in your face, not exactly subtle, but it's important Cold War.
So here's a little jingoistic. I mean, not that I can get behind that. I guess.
What's your problem with that?
Yeah, exactly. No problem with that at all whatsoever. I think the Giants game was still more about the opponent than the Giants. It was the second time all year the Giants scored more than 30 points. Like, I don't see that feat being replicated against an Eagles team whose defense got a lot healthier down the stretch, who hopefully their quarterback got a lot healthier. I mean, the Vikings are just pathetic. I mean, they just cannot stop a single. I mean, they went down 33-0 to the Colts. It's just a horrible, horrible defense. It makes zero sense that the team somehow won 13 games. I mean, you have to make your own luck like the Vikings did this year. You have to have some base level of competency. You can't just say it's like a total nothing victory. But to me, it has absolutely no bearing on this matchup with the Eagles. And Daniel Jones rushing more, that will be a key. And I'm assuming that will stick. A, because, it's the playoffs. B, because, he is unsigned for 2023. Not that they're going to try to get him hurt because they want to continue this playoff run. But these teams did just play December 11th because they played Week 18 where the Eagles were just trying to get Jalen Hurts healthy and the Giants started Davis Webb, and it was a really weirdly close game. But when both teams were at full strength in Week 14, the Eagles went 48-22. This is like 1 month ago that they just absolutely annihilated the Giants. I don't think this game will be close. I think the Eagles will cover. Yeah.
I look as someone who said, "Oh, it's the Eagles or bust." I'm nervous. That's all I'm saying. I want to just really quick say.
Real quick. I'm just only nervous. The only thing that makes me nervous about the game is Jalen Hurts' health. The Giants don't make me nervous.
I don't know. So I do think Brian Dable is like going all out to win, and I know that sounds funny, but like he is not trying to do anything but move the ball in the most efficient way possible and score the most points against the Vikings.
Revolutionary concept.
Listen, and it is. Against the Vikings last week, the Giants were 16% over their expected pass rate. That's a season high by a long shot on 1st and 10, which is a critically important time to be pass heavy. 16% over their expected pass rate. You go down 2nd and long, 40% over their expected pass rate. They were not giving in to this idea that they're going to bleed the clock. They're going to run a balanced offense. They're going to make the Vikings respect the run. No. I think they're all in on an approach to win no matter what. And if that means opening up the passing game and letting Daniel Jones do his thing, it looks like they're willing to do that.
Yeah, I agree that he's like game plan specific at this point. He will do what it takes to win the game at hand. And against the Eagles, that actually will take running the ball and like milking the clock. Eagles were totally elite against the pass. They will devour Daniel Jones if he has to throw 35 times. I think the Eagles quite vulnerable on the ground, though. They did get healthier down the stretch. It will be interesting to see how the Eagles' run defense looks. I mean, the Eagles are very vulnerable on the ground.
Yeah.
I think Brian Dable is going to be keeping Daniel Jones' attempts under 30 in the divisional round. He will get devoured if he has to throw 35 times against the Eagles.
Yeah, you're probably right. I will say it could be a situation like we see with the Eagles and the Bills to an extent where they are going to relentlessly attack the weak part of a defense. And against the Vikings, that's definitely the pass game. Not that they have a stout running defense. Okay, they don't. It's like middle of the road in most, by most metrics. But against the pass, they've been eaten alive this year. And I think obviously that's what the Giants were doing there. So maybe you're right. Maybe they will be a little more conservative here. Thank you for blowing up my argument.
So, no, but your argument is still correct. You're just saying that Brian Dable he's not subscribing to like any preconceived notions about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Like if it requires passing 40 times, he will do that.
That's
where
right.
A lot of coaches just will not do that.
That's right.
So you were absolutely correct. I just think it's going to require something different against the Eagles. The Eagles, though, it's weird how they were the best team all year, but now they're a black box. You suffer like one injury, and like your entire team just kind of becomes sort of a black box. That's how important the quarterback position is. So really, really hope Jalen Hurts is healthy. Now, by the way, the Vikings, man, we already talked about this on the recap show with Pat and Kyle, but I mean, Kirk Cousins, it'd be nice if one guy ever defied expectations. Not that game was his fault. It was the defense's fault. But, man.
Kirk Cousins is there to check down to his short area targets, and that's what he's paid to do, and that's what he did.
And, even though it wasn't Kirk Cousins' fault, it was Kirk Cousins' fault. Let's not get it twisted.
It is. Look, Kirk Cousins has zero dog in him. Nothing. There's a kitten in Kirk Cousins. He has no dog, no desire. It's unbelievable.
No dog. He has to get out dogged. But Daniel Jones actually has a lot of dog in him. I was going to act like dog and Daniel Jones was a new thing. He actually always had that dog.
He has maybe too much. He puts his body on the line a little too much for my liking.
Way too much dog in Daniel Jones.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and Rotoworld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from Rotoworld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.